guys are adventuring in the lands of Toivoa, specifically in the Plaza of the Gods. An extra-dimensional space where you guys have managed to meet up with a medium by the name of Ushu, who has been your guide and general communication with the gods and goddesses of this place. As you guys last week decided to go and encounter, well, not decided, but were forced into an encounter with Mosaba, much to the chagrin of Amershistina. You guys have managed to go towards the center of the plaza, towards where the dragon gods are. That's where we're going to be picking up tonight, as last week we ended with Emery ascending to godhood. What would you guys like to do, as you are currently not within a temple, but standing near the Dragon King's temple? Or the remains of it, I should say.
Is there anything we haven't done? I guess Rose or Amer?
Rose wanted to see the elven gods. I'd like to say, hello to MKL.
Well, I mean, since we're near these gods, it makes sense that we're dragging it out.
Right. What does the new temple for Emir Rosie look like?
From where you're standing, you are going to have a hard time seeing it anymore. It arrived and then is disappeared behind the other buildings.
Yeah, because we're in the center right now, and it's
Correct.
like at the very edge of the city because it's brand new.
Got it.
Yeah, did we see it like fall out of the sky, just like kerplunk?
It looked like a star arriving.
Cool.
Do you guys want to look at it before we go, since it's this new thing?
I mean, I suppose. Oh yeah, Echo is feeling all weak now, right? Because he used his wish.
Yep, he has a
That
strength
way?
of 3.
Yeah.
Oh well, Rose will.
You want to carry him, Rose?
Yeah.
I don't think I can.
Well, she was
I
going
think he
to.
can walk. He
Yeah,
can walk, I guess. Can he?
She was gonna. Do you still have that cane I carved for you?
yeah, I guess so.
Oh,
I think
you're
so, yeah.
Just make sure not to ask him to do a vertical jump, because under the rules, you jump 2 feet plus your strength modifier. So if he tries to jump, he will sink 1 foot into the ground.
Oh, he'll no clip. Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm okay with this.
I mean, shoot, if we're going by video game logic, that's how he can get out of the hole in the ceiling. You know, he goes down into the floor, no clips,
just
and then
glitches.
rockets straight up.
Unless it's World of Warcraft, in which case you fall forever.
Yeah.
It's actually only 10 minutes, but...
Yeah. Quick, stand on your shield and try and pick it up.
Well, yeah, I imagine Echo. Yeah, that's another place we have to go to first.
Probably want to see what it
yeah.
looks like.
Yep.
I'm a little curious, guys, if we go into the Temple of Emery Rosie and I want to see what happens with our friend here and what does he turn into a giant dragon?
Mm.
I have
I
no
think
idea.
he's going to turn into someone who is very confused and slightly angry. You didn't ask for consent about this, but yeah, I want to see what happens.
Yeah,
You can tell Tessa today is like almost thrilled to see someone else having to deal with divine bullshit other than him.
well, no, Echo Testu has an extremely good point. I mean, did Amorosi want to be a god?
I didn't ask him about it. That's that's one of the things I think that Echo and Amorosi, their relationship's kind of funny, because Echo's always doing what he thinks is best, but he doesn't really check in with Amorosi about it. And then later on, he kind of questions his judgment. Hey, did you, especially like his friends, he's always questioning him about his friends. Are you sure about these guys? they, for all the good they do, they sure do cause a lot of trouble.
Yeah,
yeah,
fair
it's one of
enough.
those things.
It was just. Well, I'm just concerned because if he's now a god, does that mean he can stay on the material plane?
I don't know. I don't know what the fallout's going to be. I can't think. I can't imagine that it's really not going to be received well. So, I mean, maybe not.
Maybe
Well,
he'll
if
be there.
Can't imagine.
If
Yeah.
he eats you,
Yeah, I doubt he's here, but we'll see.
No, I imagine he is wherever he is. Can't you communicate with him telepathically?
well, we're on a
No,
different plane
no.
of existence right now.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Oh,
if we go into the temple, our friend will manifest Emery Rosie's like he does to everyone
might.
else. Maybe.
He may be able to. He is known to show up in humanoid form. I mean, he visits Judith, and that kind of thing. So
Well, I suppose, yeah, we can find out. Ushu, between the Temple of Imkale, the temples for the Six, and the new Temple of Emerosi, which one should which is closest? If we wish to visit all three.
The 6 are closer.
Okay. I would like to visit those temples, everybody. If you don't
Yeah.
mind the detour.
Sure.
No.
And he's going to start walking away from the Temple of Emery Rosie, around the Temple of the Dragon God, and in the opposite direction, as he will walk you guys away from the Temple of Emery Rosie.
I mean, that does make sense now that I think about it.
Echo. Does Emery Rosie really question me that much?
no. Well, we've only had one conversation about it.
So, batting 1,000 then.
Well,
Yeah.
As one does.
anyway.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, you want
one
me to
must
drop
also
You want me to drop
What-
the what was it?
It's
What did
okay.
he say? Something about the blonde bastard or
Yeah.
The blonde bastard from beyond.
yeah. Yeah. No, I'm not going to mention that.
I don't know them. The blonde bastard from beyond. Damn it.
He wants an excuse to be able to call himself that in character.
I need to add to my list of titles.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Hey, has anyone explained? Has anyone expanded upon what happened with this? Like would Brennan know that this temple fell disguised to Emir Rosie?
Well, I think Echoes said it out loud when he cast the
Okay.
wish.
Yeah. I mean, you were there
Okay.
when it happened. Yeah, you were there when it happened.
But just because he's there doesn't mean he knows what the hell's going on. I mean,
Well, because I mean, Eric, out of character, that
Yeah.
is the verbal component of the wish
Yep.
spell is I wish for X, right?
Indeed.
Yeah.
Okay. That's gonna
so-
confuse. I mean, that's confusing the heck out of it. So there's not only gods that are dragons. Now the dragon that's supposed to be a good dragon is a god. Brendan's just like, is this guy we're following a dragon too?
Ushu? No, I think he's a human.
I think he's a
Okay.
something.
Because can't Emir Rosie become a human? Like he's just confused.
But yeah, dragons can turn into people with magic. We've seen them do it. Remember that tall lady in front of the dragon horn?
I remember killing a dragon.
Now, but speaking of killing a dragon, Echo, something to consider. What happens to a god when they run out of followers?
Yeah. Yeah.
They die. And how many followers does Emir Rosie have right now?
Well, he's got at
Probably.
least, he's got at least one. There may be more out there.
He's a very famous dragon, so he
Yeah.
could have.
To be fair, he does a lot of good acts from what I know. So if people
He has
see him
name
do
recognition anyway.
he has name last time he was here was 2,000 years ago. I think only the educated would know who Amaria Rosie is.
You're calling me educated?
You call me
you're-
a dick?
How dare you?
Right. So Echo, it seems that your top priority will be attracting more followers to ensure that a carefully placed assassin's blade doesn't end our best hope for taking out Veradrax.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good point.
yeah, maybe.
How does that work? With is it devotion or worship? Like, does it need to be is it just a personal thing to where someone is believing that this is a god, or are there like rites and procedures that you have to display?
Well, I imagine Echo would have to come up with any sort of rituals he wants to do. But I think what ultimately matters is worship or the faith. I'm not an
So there
expert.
could just
But faith without doctrine isn't belief. Faith without doctrine is just good thoughts and vibes, and that doesn't sustain a god.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. So someone believes, but I don't know. So if there could be people out there that privately believe this already, like we don't know.
Right, but
Yeah.
it is through the rituals, through the symbols, and devoting one's heart that the faith is made manifest. It's not like wizardry where individuals are like, oh, I'm just going to read this book and now I have access to the magic. It has to be from the soul, and the doctrine is how those energies are channeled to the correct god.
So it's not like flame arrow.
Not quite. It's a bit more intense.
Hmm.
Because believing that someone is a god is not enough. I believe that various entities I wish weren't are gods because they're gods. I've seen their temples. But, that's different from my faith to Anwa.
Okay, Brennan's learning things.
Like, for example, one reason it's so difficult to recruit into the clergy of Anwa is that you can't have any attachment to your powers. The moment you feel entitled to your powers, Anwa cuts them off hard.
Is Anwa a dragon?
No.
I think she could be
So-
if she wanted to be.
Oh, yeah. Anwa gets to do what she wants. That's the kind of goddess Anwa is.
All right, are we heading to the 6?
I mean, that's
Ushu is walking ahead of you and just nods.
well, it makes sense for them to be close to the center from the cosmology I was taught as a child. I was taught that after the dragons came the elves, but I mean, I don't know how accurate that is.
You are passing a variety of twisted temples that are just absolutely like someone took Play-Doh and just turned it into an corkscrew. You don't see an entrance to these, but they're definitely maintained and obviously powerful gods.
Ushu, what temples are these? I mean, or could she try to see if she knows them?
You can roll a
I mean,
religion check, sure.
She has a +1, so to her religion, so I don't think it's going to be that. Well, who knows? I might get a nat 20, and oops, I just realized I have neither her sheet nor am I in roll 20.
RP is strong today.
Yeah. I just woke up from a nap. Please forgive me.
In other words, you're on your second Monday.
Yeah. And then so Rose, and then fellowship. Get in there. Launch game.
Yeah, one of my favorite wrestlers says that a nap is how you double your time on Earth. You have 2 Mondays, 2 Tuesdays, 2 Wednesdays.
There we go. Okay, so here we are. There's Ushu, and then religion. Boop. That could have been worse.
You have no idea who those are. Ushu looks at you and will grumble in the back of his throat. And he will continue walking.
Is that actually a language?
It is a language, yes.
Is it abyssal, celestial, infernal, orc, or orc?
No.
I have not what's it called? Tongue of the Sun and Moon. So I believe if it's an understandable language, I can understand what he said.
I believe you can speak them, correct?
I understand all spoken languages.
Awesome. Cool. You understood the language.
What did he say?
A proper name.
Oh, so that was the name. I imagine. So are these?
Ancients. They are worshipped in among the stars.
Oh. Are these like those outsider beings?
Ushu will look at you and keep walking. Doesn't answer that one. Leaves that up to your interpretation.
Well, I don't know if I want to hang out here. Their temples look real weird.
Is there one to an entity that represents hunger?
He nods.
I don't wish to visit it, but could you point it out to me?
He points over to the far left. It is some way.
Ah. What is the name of that entity?
Oh,
Yes. Cthulhu speak. Got it. Let me put that in my notes. How do you spell that exactly, Eric?
he can't spell it with mortal letters.
There we go.
Should you manage to spell it, it will summon the god, and you'll be consumed.
Phonemically.
Phonetically, yep.
Okay, enemies. Okay, she'll just keep that in mind. So these are old ones, is what you were saying.
Yes.
Uh, Do any of these have worshippers on Toivoa?
He nods.
She stops the others and just looks at them and just says, "Okay, this may be too dangerous, so I suppose I should ask the five of you." So I believe Cervantes may be worshipping or even controlled by one of these entities, and I don't know which. I believe it's the one of hunger, but I'm not sure.
Well, I don't know what you're intending to do here, because the only thing that you might achieve here is walking in and saying, I'd make a better servant than Cervantes and getting that power transferred to you. Otherwise, the gods are very loath to give up their playthings, particularly if you're in their domain.
Well, from what I would just be finding out more. Just finding out more information in general. But I don't know much about these old ones. I mean,
I don't think many people do.
she'll look at Testu and just say, "Do you know anything about these old ones, or anything that could be beneficial to my goal?"
How to put this? I know not to mess with them. I know that those who study it never walk away happy that they studied it.
I don't want to study it. I just want to know more information specifically.
I think we call that studying.
Well, then how else are you supposed to destroy something you don't know anything about?
It's not always destroying; it's saving yourself from them. And I did a lot of reading when we were in the Dragon's Horde. Let's see if I remember anything. Eric.
Okay, about these gods?
Yeah, about the old ones here.
Would not have been in the Dragon's Horde.
Then I'd have no idea. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
We did a lot of studying on magic and religion there, and if he didn't learn it there,
Yep.
nothing else in his life, I think, would have involved that.
No, it would not have been in that space. So, just saving you the roll because you cannot succeed.
That's fine.
Yeah, there is only one surefire way I know to deprive someone of divine powers, and that is to make them boring from the perspective of the one granting those powers.
You might even find some books on this, Rose. You know.
Soldiers. Okay, so yeah, that's all I know. Just old one, and yeah, and I don't know which. And how many of these temples of the old ones are there in this area? Like, is there count? Like,
There's a good 25, 30
okay,
just on this street.
yeah, she knows. All I know is that they have aspects like anger, fear, hate. They're usually based around some negative emotion.
Suffering. Wait, sorry. The Jedi is coming out of me.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, these. Yeah. So then none of them have entry. You said also none of them have entrances.
There's what look kind of like ways in as far as getting into the temple grounds, but as far as the buildings themselves, identifying a door is impossible.
All right. Well. Oh, I suppose it is too dangerous then. I'll have to.
The buildings are just twisted and torn. It looks like someone took stone and just corrupted the reality of it. There are no straight angles on any of it.
Oh well. I suppose I'll have to ask others then.
Yeah, this realm has no fire marshal deity to ensure temples have proper evacuation routes.
I don't know if they can burn down. To be fair,
Not with that attitude.
I mean, I like some arson. I don't think I can manage that one.
Jim Carrey is not here, so Fire Marshal Bill is not in the Plaza of the Gods.
Yet.
Don't make me do that.
What if we try real hard?
Dude, it hurts my face so much to do that impression.
Oh yeah. By the way.
Like for 3 days after I do that impression, my cheeks are going to be hurting.
Speaking of
he's a cheeky
seeing
fellow.
Eric's face, I forgot to go into the Twitch chat too. I just forgot everything. Jesus. All right. Well, yeah. Rose will just nod and then continue to follow Ushu since, yeah, like she doesn't even know which old one Cervantes has the backing of. So.
Or if it does at all.
No, that's what the information that Succubus gave us, and I didn't have the impression that she was lying.
Well, I must not have been paying attention, which tracks for me.
I believe you were going through her underwear drawer at the time.
Yeah, that was a good underwear drawer. I have no regrets.
That tracks.
All right, but
As his sandals clip, clip, clip across the stones, you guys continue walking. It's going to be several miles to where you need to go. Is there anything you guys want to do along the way?
No, not really.
Okay.
it's on the way there. No.
As
yeah,
you
just
as you guys
continue
approach,
observing.
the architecture changes suddenly at first, and then more defined as you notice it change from these twisted forms into elven forms. It's nice, tall spires with sweeping buttresses. The first temple you come to seems a little worn down, not well maintained, but still regal and ancient.
Oh, I suppose that does make sense.
Outside of it, you see that there are large oxen statues, broad-shouldered and massive, 40 feet tall, with horns that spread outwards 10 feet.
turn to Ushu and just ask, Ushu, I'm sure you know this already, but according to what I was taught as a child, the six and all elven gods actually are all just shards of one larger elven god who was smashed or destroyed or something happened to him. And he was shattered into all these pieces, and the six are just the six largest pieces. Is there a temple to that one god, to the six unified?
He nods.
There is.
Indeed.
Is it accessible?
He nods and walks towards this massive temple with the figure of the oxen out front. As he comes to the gate, massive iron bars stand proud, 40 feet high, easily 60 feet wide. It's a massive gate. He walks up to it and manipulates a latch, and the gate creaks open.
She's standing there kind of nervously. She looks at the others and just says, okay, admittedly, I wasn't expecting that. People have been searching for the name of this god, this over god, or at least that's what I was taught, that no one knows it.
Ushu is going deeper into the temple to a pair of large doors. He will open them and go inside, leaving them ajar for you.
She will follow,
Okay.
somewhat trepidatiously.
All right. As you step
Say I'll
into the
follow
gate,
behind.
Tester is
Sorry,
going to
fuck,
follow behind?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. As the two of you step forward, is anyone else following along?
Yeah, Brennan's curious.
Okay.
Yeah.
Echo? Aimer?
Yeah, Echo's going.
Okay. Aimer, would you be going into this temple? Or are you going to stay outside with Ricard? Think Aimer might be AFK at the moment. So we'll cover that in a moment. But I need the ones of you who are going in, the four of you, to make wisdom saving throws as you cross the threshold of that gate. Sweet Rose is not afraid. Echo Rex, you are frightened of the situation. Brendan, you are also frightened. Tester Dinaday is not. As you guys step forward, you feel a presence. Old and observing. Like your great-grandfather when the TV gets turned off. Nothing to say. Just someone paying attention. As you approach the giant doors to the temple proper, they are carved and scarred. The depictions are of wars and tribulations, children being born, gods ascending, angels and demons fighting. It's too much to take in a single visit. Do you want to go inside?
Oh yeah, Rose is following Ushu.
Okay. The light from the plaza barely pierces this temple as you walk in. There's a single candle resting in the center of an enormous space. Illuminated by the candle on the floor, Ushu sits, legs crossed, hands on his knees, head down. He's easily 60 feet from you. There is nothing between you and there, save for columns on the right and left. The columns are square and reach upwards 100 feet to a ceiling that is near indistinguishable in the darkness. What would you like to do?
Rose will approach Ushu and sit down across from him.
Yep. Aimer,
the lotus
would you like to
position.
go into the temple with them, or are you staying outside with Ricard?
I'm going in.
Okay, need a wisdom saving throw, please.
That's what I was asking. I was like, what's going on?
Yep.
Go to the bathroom.
With a 20, you are not frightened by the situation.
It's 29. I have advantage.
29, very well.
Woo.
Cool.
I'm gonna strut on in. We can all aim her like.
All right, so Sweet August Rose, you walk in. What do you do then? I'm sorry, I missed it.
She said she was. I said she was going to walk up to Ushu and sit across from him in the lotus position.
Yeah, I gotta say, it was like, damn it, I'm getting my character names all confused. Tessitinidae is going to keep.
I've done that.
Yeah.
He's keeping a sharp eye on Aimer to make sure that he doesn't think it might be a fun idea to, I don't know, graffiti that is ancient temple.
You've only ever seen him graffiti one thing, and that was rocks outside Slosh, where he drew giant penises with the Spirit of Annihilation.
It's valid.
Uh-huh.
And people's faces. You might have seen him graffiti people's faces. That's it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
That
Rose-
list is growing, huh?
All right, so you watch Aimer, but he doesn't seem to be up to any mischief at the moment. As Sweet August Rose sits down across from the figure, how about the rest of you? Are you guys coming to sit down, or are you going to stay standing?
Aimer's gonna kind of roam around a little bit, just looking at things,
Okay.
kind of like he's admiring the
The architecture?
inner workings, the architecture, and just the craftsmanship. Like he's not really invested in any of the other elven
Sure.
gods. In fact, he kind of hates them. So he's just more trying to be neutral and stay out of the way, but still find some self-enjoyment.
Understood. As you look around, Aimer, this place has been stripped clean. There's no furniture in the place. There's no decorations. The stained glass windows are boarded over. It's like coming into a old warehouse that once was pretty.
I'm gonna kind of take note of that.
As you
Yeah,
sit,
it's a sad
go ahead.
place.
Go ahead.
Yeah, just thinking that's a sad place.
Very sad. As you're sitting there, Sweet August Rose, Ushu's figure coughs for a moment. The flame in front of him flickers and then grows slightly brighter. He looks at you, his eyes completely white. The irises and pupils are gone, replaced by milky white. What do you want, child? What do you speak of? Why have you come?
I want to learn.
To learn of the old, to learn of we who have no power. What could you learn from us?
I don't know. The past, what happened. All I know is the stories I was told as a child.
Man is temperamental. Man causes many things. It is my gift to Toivoa that man be. And yet it is also my downfall that man rejects that which they do not understand. You
okay,
and your friends are man.
Oh, okay. So we're all men. Okay. That was because that was something I wanted to clarify. Is he talking about humans or just sentience in general?
Do you ask him, or are you
Well, yeah.
meditating?
You know, she's just. Well, he said your friends are man, so that kind of clarified it. Well, I was told that there are some who seek your name. That if they were to somehow find that, it would reunite all the elven gods back into one, and the elves would reclaim their grace.
The elves, they reclaim grace. Man cannot reclaim that which is lost. Not while they have conflict.
And she's nodding.
The shattering was for the good of man. They allowed it to happen. I am here only as a fragment of what I once was, a simple shard.
So you don't wish to be reunited?
Wishes. Wishing in one hand, child. Men wish, gods know. In time, perhaps, should the great ones will it, perhaps I could be young again. But till that time, my children, my spawn, the result of me, they are the future for man.
Okay, so when you say man, do you mean all sentience?
No. No. Man, all that moves and lives. All who have been given souls.
She sits back and thinks about that. So I was under the impression that you created the elves, but you sacrificed yourself not just for the elves, but for all the other gods, sentient or creations with souls as well?
In order for man to have will, there must be divisiveness, a contrast between the good and the ill, between light and dark, between earth and sky. Without these things, one does not know who they are, and man becomes lost. Lost. Lost and without purpose.
I see. And that's why we cannot know your name?
You could know my name, child of man. You could know it.
Will you tell it to me?
He's sitting there, not responding.
I see.
You think he might have fallen asleep?
Probably not. The candle's still burning brighter than it was before,
It's
right?
burning brighter now than it was before.
She looks at him and just asks, Well, I'm only 130 years old, and I'm still learning so much. But is there anything I can do to help you? Nice. Like when he does like she is going to reach across and like gently pat him on the back or pat Ushu on the back, because man, those are starting to get kind of nasty.
Thank you. Thank you. Child. And he reaches up with a very withered hand. Ushu seems like a normally healthy human. As his hand comes up, the skin is barely clinging to his bones. He's emaciated. The arm, you can see the individual tendons from both sides as his fingers uncurl just slightly as he reaches up to touch your very fair skin. He reaches up and, like bones covered by cold tissue paper, he pets your arm gently. You've done more for Eziok today than anyone has in eons. Thank you, child of man.
I'm gonna hold on. I gotta write that down. Give me a second. How do you spell that? I mean, I guess I don't know how he spelled it.
I won't spell it for you here. Because
Eziok.
Eziok.
Eziok. Question mark? Okay. She looks at him and just says, I've already spoken to the Six about their help aiding me retaking Bourbon. And I'm not expecting or asking anything of you, but would you like, if I am successful, would you like for me to build a temple to you there as well, in addition to the Six?
Child, what need have I for temples? My time is past, child of man. There is very little faith that still remains. No, I do not seek reassurance or resurgence. No. 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 I am content that man flourishes as they do. My work is done. And when those few who remember me are dead, then I too will die.
She sits back and thinks about that. Admittedly, I was a very young child, and I was whisked away from my culture before I could learn more. But I was taught that you were a great mystery, and that upon the the reassembling of your various parts, it would bring back an age of elvish flourishing. We would gain our grace back. We would stop aging like we used to.
Dreams and hopes of man. Dreams and hopes. Dreams and hopes. No. No, not unless Kindred. Not unless Kindred rose once again would I have any desire for that.
Indran?
I will put that name in chat for you guys. There you go.
Who or what is Kindred? Well, I mean, will that be a name she heard in her
Negative.
in her baby, basically elvish CCD
Not a
studies?
chance.
Okay. Who or what is Kindred?
Mother of gods. Inspiration. That which brings motivation to all of us. Man, God, it does not matter. If you are a plant, Kindred causes you the desire to reach for the sun. If you are a man, Kindred provides the reason for life, for survival. Kindred is asleep and forever sleeps.
And is that a good thing for us or a bad thing for us?
Cassiopeia from the sidelines just gives a gentle thumbs up to Rose, indicating which way he thinks it is.
Well, yeah, no, she suspects, but she's just, better to hear it from the horse's mouth.
While Kindred sleeps, her dreams motivate you for greater things. But her powers have waned. She is weak. Good or ill, that is a determination of mortals.
True. There is no such thing as good or evil.
There is, but it is rarer than you believe. Good and ill, evil and apathy, both, all, they are a weakening of the mind. And I find myself afflicted.
I see. Well, Eziok, would it be acceptable if I come back here again after I've had some time to think about what you said?
Of course. We do not mind the visitation of man. I do not welcome it, of course, for it is bothersome. But you may visit. This has been a pleasant conversation, child.
She bows deeply from her sitting position and just says, "Thank you for educating me."
It is fine that you, as a child of man, have brought my grandchildren here. It was nice to have seen them.
You're welcome. I mean, with that, that seems to be the end of the conversation. Is Ushu going to go back to the way he was, or?
His head rests on his chest. You're not sure if he's dead or not. However, the flame of the candle is now easily the size of your fist and illuminates far more of this temple.
She stands up and dusts herself off and looks back at the others. My apologies. That had absolutely nothing to do with our quest or why I'm here, but it was questions I have had since I was a child.
Well, I can understand. This is a very rare opportunity. We are treading places that few mortals could even consider treading.
Ushu, actually, that's a good question. Before us, several months ago, who were the last mortals to come here?
There's no response from the figure huddled on the floor.
Yeah, Ushu? No, she'll gently shake his shoulder.
Yeah, I'm back already, I see.
Oh, Eziok, I'm sorry. I thought you had left Ushu.
No. The medium awaits the departure of the faithful.
Ah, I see. Well then she will just say, "Well, rest well, Eziok. I hope I'll have another chance to speak to you soon, maybe in a century or two."
So soon.
She'll stand up and she'll head back towards the doors where the others are standing. Sorry, but like I said, sorry about that. It's just
And I have been granted inspiration for Eziok.
yay! Oh, for his death saving throws.
For his
Yeah, he
death
needs them.
saves, yeah.
Yeah,
He needs them pretty bad.
yeah. Like, do you need a lozenge or something?
No, I actually have honey sticks that I keep with me at all times in a mug specifically for this purpose. Seriously. So I keep those, and I also have a whole bunch of bottles of water.
As they're leaving,
Okay.
Amer's gonna lean over and go, "Which god was that again?" Sorry, I wasn't paying attention when I was following you.
Sorry. Well, so I don't know how accurate this is, especially after that conversation. But when I was a child, I was taught that a long time ago, when the Earth was new, a god wanted to create a race that was, well, perfect, and so he created the elves. And back then, we were ageless. Disease didn't touch us. Everything was perfect. And then something happened. No one knows what. And that god was shattered. And during that shattering, the elves lost their grace. That's why we age like everybody else now. Every now and then you come across an elf that still has their grace, but for the most part, we age and die like every other living creature. I was taught that, there's many different legends about what happened. Some say that the elves betrayed their maker and that caused him to shatter, or that he sheltered us from some sort of great calamity and that is what caused him to break apart into the elven gods that we know today. And there's cults that try to find out his name, but apparently it is Eziok. Anyways, I wanted to speak to him because, well, I thought he was some sort of completely unknowable being. I never thought I'd have a chance to find that information out. It doesn't seem like it can help me or any of us in any particular way, but it is interesting to know. So I appreciate all of your patience.
Brandon's just freaked out.
Well, creation myths tend to revolve around how things used to be better, but I think he was absolutely right about it being that he's not looking to birth more into reality. Because if you consider, for mammals like yourself, the process of being born is a rather traumatic one. The process of gods being born from other gods is also similarly traumatic, but on the world itself.
Well, that's what the six are. They're shards of him from when that's what all the elven gods are. They're shards of apparently Eziok when he was a whole being.
It doesn't sound like he wants to even have all his power back.
That's understandable. Accepting change is a big part of being an enlightened being.
Well, there's also the terror of eternity. Imagine an existence where you've been around for so long that nothing can surprise you. then you kind of cease to have a reason to going forward because nothing can entertain you, nothing can excite you. You just exist for the sake of existing. It's true wisdom to know when it's time to get off the stage.
You guys leave the temple. You'll hear the doors close, and Ushu, healthy and hearty, comes out and closes the gate as well.
You feeling okay there, Ushu? You sounded like you're about to hack up a lung.
I'm fine.
All right. Thank you for letting me experience that.
I
But
do not understand.
regardless, can you take us to the six now? The particularly Willith and Emil.
He gestures to the 6 temples directly next to this one.
Yeah, I imagine they're right there.
Each of these is huge. These are massive edifices. While this one was a couple 100 feet in size, these are thousands. This is the massive cathedrals of worship that are excellently maintained, very obviously have thousands upon thousands, if not millions of worshippers. Where are we going first?
Well, she'll speak to Valerian and just say, Valerian, would...
Oh, now you want to talk to me, sis. You put me away when I start talking about you and Ricard, and now you just want to talk to me in this place.
Well, yeah, this is one of...
I kind of like being entertained.
I'll attempt to remember that in the future. But would you like to speak to Emil? You were a paladin of his.
My time's kind of past, sis. It's not like I'm going to be able to do much talking.
You can... I mean, if I place you in his temple, I believe you could talk to him.
You're just going to throw a sword in there, huh?
I mean, it's your place, not mine. I have to go speak to Gwylith.
Oh, okay.
Question: are they communicating telepathically, or are we just hearing
Yes.
half this conversation?
Well, Rose is... Valerian is communicating directly into her mind. You just see Rose looking over her shoulder, talking to the hilt of her sword. Or, well, not over her shoulder, I'm sorry, it's in her staff now. So you just see her talking to her staff.
This confuses Brennan often.
It does.
Oh, Tezzinade is listening in and sees his opportunity and says, I think the only temple your sword wants to go into is that of your enemy.
Oh,
In one temple, out the other.
Fair enough. That is an interesting experience, though, I have to say. But or at least I imagined it would be. Like, Valerian, do you enjoy it when I stab people with you?
Of course. I mean, kind of proud of the fact you're able to actually hit something.
Yeah, so I wonder how much of that is shaped because I mean I imagine if you still had your body, you would not enjoy being plunged into somebody else's body. So is it simply because you were a sword that you find that enjoyable?
Look, sis. There's something you should know about me.
Yeah, no, it's not a sex joke, Valerian.
You see, I wasn't exactly monogamous.
I meant like plunging.
I got around a bit.
I meant like plunging your like head through somebody's chest.
Oh, I haven't done that.
Anyways, you were a paladin of Emil. I just think it would be appropriate if I left you in there to commune with him.
You leave me in there, there's a good chance he's going to take me. You know that, right?
I mean, did he not consent to having your soul put in the sword?
No. This is a thing I did. You think I can really use any of my divine powers in here when I rebelled against LMLO? See, I've lost all my connection. It's not like we're on good terms. I've got a bit of a reckoning to go under if I go in there.
Well, it's your decision then. Do you want to face him right now, or do you want to wait?
I think I'm going to wait until you don't need the sword anymore.
All right.
I don't want to risk it.
That's
You still need as
fair
much
enough.
help as you can get,
Fair
especially
enough.
as fast as your reflexes are at the start of combat.
Look, okay, that's a dice curse. Statistically, she is one of the she's as generally as fast as the person can be. Okay, if you're just looking at mechanics and statistics, she should be going.
I
in
understand.
the higher end of things.
However,
I just
pattern
roll
of
2s and 3s
behavior.
when rolling initiative constantly.
No, you're taking this all wrong. You should have gone with I'm strategically choosing when to move to best assault my enemies. Rushing in head first is often a dumb move. I shouldn't be like Aimer. Like it wasn't hard.
Oh no! See, no, it's I just got to set up. Yeah, this. I don't know. It is a curse though. Like, yeah, I roll under 8 on my initiative. I think I should go back and go to every episode and actually start like writing them down just to look at what the average is on her initiative rolls because it has to be sub 8. Anyways, I'm sorry.
Well, it's all about the attitude. Some of us use the initiative we're given, and others of us take the initiative.
Well,
Oh.
yeah. Oof, but yeah, she frowns in annoyance and she's going to flick the rose ornamentation on the staff.
Ow!
Look,
Why didn't you get so bitchy? Isn't that time of the month?
no, I'm just teasing you, Valerian. If you
You
don't wish
sure?
to, of course.
Okay.
If you don't wish to talk to Emil, that I understand and I appreciate it. Though, I mean, I'm not a paladin, nor am I a man, so I can't exactly say I'm familiar with the priesthood of him, but
Oh, they're pretty badass. Just saying. Chariot races and orgies and
yeah,
time of the sun.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically the elven god of young men. So yeah.
Oh no, sis. No, if you haven't seen the girls' chariot races, you're missing out. I mean, I know that you're not interested in handsome men, so you probably really enjoy them.
What are you talking about? I just have high standards.
Higher than the ruler of an entire city-state, who's damn handsome? Come on.
Well, no, that is different. That is political, and you know just as well as I do that politics gets in the way of such things.
If he's an
They have a
ally,
bigger-
if he's an ally,
They makes a snorting laugh at Rose saying that there's a difference between a relationship and politics.
if he's an ally and married him, you know, you can pretty much have your way with him. More ways than one.
True. But like I said, there's other options I have to keep open for the time being.
Oh yeah, sure, sure. Uh-huh.
I have considered it, but like I said, let me put it to you. He's my second choice right now.
All right, all right.
However, anyways, if you don't wish to speak to Emil, that's fine.
No, I'll go in if you want to go and talk, but
Oh no, I'm not going to speak to Emil. It's not my place. I was going to go talk to Gwyleth, and I believe you have to stay outside.
oh, yeah, probably be a good idea.
Yep. So yeah, she'll just walk up to the one that's obviously the moon goddess, shadow goddess, secrets, love, all that
Okay.
jazz, and she'll just plant the staff outside and just say, I need to speak with Gwyleth if it's possible.
Ushu comes over and nods and will unlock the gate, which is just a latch. It glides open silently. You don't even hear the air move around it as it moves.
And
You going inside?
she's gonna go. Well, she'll turn to the other and just say, once again, everyone, I thank you for your patience. But this is something that's rather personal.
Oh, good. I didn't particularly want to go there either. I'll hang out with your brother or whoever the magic staff you talk to.
My brother.
As you turn
Yeah,
around,
I
Ushu is
bet.
gone.
Yeah, it's not surprising. And she will go into the temple.
As
Before
you...
she goes,
Huh?
Destiny is going to raise a hand and say, "Are you sure you wouldn't like someone who's familiar with dealing with the divine at your side, just in case things start to go unpleasant directions?"
I am sure.
Okie dokie.
Like I said, this is personal.
Well, if you're leaving the sword outside, Tessa is going to try and have a conversation with it.
Okay.
You can try, but I don't think he can respond to you. But yeah.
So, as you attempt to have a conversation with the sword, as Sweet August Rose will step into the temple and disappear in shadows instantly. And for some reason, Roll20 is having an issue. Hopefully that fixes itself. But, Tessa, you touch her staff, and you hear her voice, "Hey, dude."
Tessa replies back in a chill voice, "Hey, dude, so we got a little time. Tell me some embarrassing stories about Rose."
Nah, she's a good kid.
Oh, yeah. A little leverage for, when the teasing needs to go one step further.
That's my job. No one teases my sister except me.
Oh, that's fair.
Brennan's gonna ask Tessie Dinade if he's talking to a god.
No, just someone with a rose-sized ego.
Oh, that's like Rose's sister.
And he'll just tap the sword and say, "Oh, no, there's another soul in here."
That's what Rose keeps saying. Don't know if I still believe it or not, though.
I'll come have a conversation with him then.
Yeah, see, it's more fun this way, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's always the bit where we act like none of us could talk to the sword and Rose might be going crazy.
Well, I've talked to him before, but, I still like to make Rose think she's going crazy. That's part of the fun.
She used to have more voices in her head, so.
Yep. All right. So
That's always a good direction.
absolutely. So as Sweet August Rose slips into this temple, you are surrounded by magical darkness. You feel the floor underneath your feet. It feels like smooth stone. You hear a couple of soft footsteps in the darkness near you. Ushu's telltale sandals are not clicking against the stone surface.
Rose will remove her slippers as well near the entrance. And she'll try to, she'll walk forward towards where the center of the temple is. Or where she can where she imagines it would be. I don't know if she can see through this magical darkness or not.
You cannot.
Even with
Even with...
okay.
Yep.
All right, so yeah, she'll be walking forward.
You will hear voices, multiple voices, near you, whispering, "Marguerite, what's she doing here? Why are you here? She can't be good. Why does she think she's good enough to be here? Daughter, sister, mother. She could be anyone. Anything. What is she doing here? Why is she here?" You hear these from all directions.
She'll answer out loud. I'm here to learn, if it's all possible.
And then you hear a low growl from before you. In the darkness, 2 green orbs open, 10 feet high and 6 feet wide. The space between them, you could fit in there. The 2 green eyes narrow at you. Speak.
Do I know the name of her wolf?
You would.
What is it?
What is
I
it?
don't think, I
You're
don't think I
supposed to know this down.
I don't think I wrote that
Oh,
down. I don't think I actually gave it a name.
Let me get it for you.
Google.
I will pull it up for you. One
Toy-
second here.
Similarian, Elvish
Oh,
wolf.
here we go. It should be. Should be Ryuzan.
Ryuzan. Oh.
Yep.
She will bow deeply to the 2 green. I mean, she's assuming it's him. I mean, what else would it be in here? But she'll bow deeply to him and just say, "My name is Sweet August Rose, but the name I was given at birth was Santiana de la Rosa. In another life, I most likely would have joined Gwillis following. I was the 4th child and 2nd daughter of a noble, and I would have joined the clergy. I most likely would have joined or undertaken the Sable Mysteries. But that opportunity was taken from me. I was raised amongst humans in a faraway land. However, as I've gotten older, I've gained a desire to reconnect with my culture. And so I've come here to petition Gwylith to allow me to undertake the trials. Even though I'm too old.
Trade your faith as a child and return seeking redemption.
That is one way to put it, yes.
The eyes narrow and a snout comes out of the darkness, black and furry, easily the width of your shoulders. It sniffs you once, twice. It returns to the darkness. The green eyes narrow once again, contemplating you. You have the scent of flowers.
I do.
The eyes will close and disappear into the darkness. You wait for a moment and another, and you will hear a whisper like a tickle on the back of your ear. Daughter, it's been
Sister?
a very long time.
I mean, I won't bother turning around. Oh, because I can't see. Gwylith.
Yes. You feel a caress of the back of fingers touching your right cheek. I'm here.
Thank you for hearing my plea.
I listen when my children come back.
Would it be acceptable then for me to undertake the Sable Mysteries?
Why? Why do you wish to become a sable mistress? You feel a hand slide up your back and just touch your shoulder blade before releasing into the darkness.
Well, you're the god of things only one person knows. So I think you know why, but like I said, I want to reconnect with my roots. This isn't just about power or reclaiming Bourbon. This is of a personal nature. Like I said, had things gone differently, I most likely would have taken these initiation rituals when I was in my 60s or 70s.
The next words come from an inch away from your left cheek. The warm breath against you. You can almost feel her kissing you as she says the words. If not for revenge or vengeance. Why? Personal is vague here. Your secrets are kept. Tell me,
No.
daughter, why do you wish to join the mistresses of darkness?
You're correct. It's not about vengeance or gaining more power. It's about love.
Love. Whose love?
My love for my peoples, for our traditions.
Your people are dead and scattered. It's such a shame. We could have saved them together. But now it's nearly too late.
Change it. Sorry, go ahead.
What would you do?
What would I do?
Yes. What would we do to bring your people back?
Honestly, at this point, I don't know. I What I do know is that change is inevitable. No, nothing is immutable. Everything changes. But that doesn't mean we can't try to make change for the better. I missed my chance to take these initiation rituals when I was a child due to circumstances beyond my control.
Child, who do you love enough to undergo ritual and trials of the Sable Mysteries?
I don't think you'll like this answer, but I love everyone. Because that's the thing. Illusion is a separation.
Lies. You do not love everyone. There are those you hate. There
No.
are those you wish to kill.
Yes.
You do
No,
not love them.
I do. That's the thing. I know it seems strange, but I don't hold hatred in my heart. Even for the Cervantes family. Even after what they did. Even for Don Ricardo. It seems strange, I know, but anger is a poison, and holding on to it, all it does is it's like a hot coal. If you pick up a hot coal to throw it at someone else, all you do is burn yourself. When I was young, I needed that fire. I needed that strength to survive. But as I grew older, all it became was a burden, so I let go of it. It's an attachment I didn't need. It's not about need, it's about desire. Because I want to reconnect with my past. I want to see what I missed out on. That is true. I haven't. That is true. It is an attachment. Well, I'm certainly good at that. Well, I do.
There's going to be a hesitation then. And as the hesitation takes hold, you feel the presence examine you. You're being judged. Fine. Undergo the trials. Should you live, you will become one of the Sable Mysteries. But should you fail, you will be taken, and you will be forgotten.
Like I said, change comes to us all. There's no point in fighting it.
There always is. To not fight the change is to acquiesce to others. Have your will. Use it. Be strong.
I can definitely do that. I thank you, Gwyleth, for this opportunity.
Be strong. Can
Yes.
you? What
Yes.
is your strength?
My soul.
You are wrong. And you'll see the doors of the temple open behind you.
Yeah, she'll turn and walk towards the light.
As you walk to the light, there are no whispers. The space is silent, save for your bare feet walking across the stone floor. It's got to be further to that door than it was when you came in. The door seems to be moving away from you. You're not getting any progress towards the door.
Is this one of the tests? She'll try to shadow step towards the door.
You shadow step towards the door.
Yeah.
The door lurches away from you.
She'll turn around towards the shadows, and she'll walk away from the door.
You hear the doors close with a boom. Outside, the doors have closed with a boom. Sweet August Rose is now sealed inside the temple. Is there any reaction from the people outdoors?
Amer's gonna yawn.
Okay.
You just saw the doors open and then close by themselves.
Ushu
Brennan's
comes
been
out.
asking. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Ushu comes out of the temple without Sweet August Rose.
Where's Rose, Ushu?
She's with the gods.
Oh, that's unfortunate for her. Do you know how long this is gonna take?
He looks at you blankly, and that's when you remember time is not as usual here.
I meant, how long am I gonna perceive this time being? I'm not asking how long it's gonna be elsewhere. Am I gonna feel like I'm gonna sit here for the next 12 hours waiting? Should I get a book? That's more what I'm getting at here. If you have any idea.
I would not expect it to be a short period of time.
All right, a book it is then.
Perhaps a library would be more to your liking.
Is there one here?
No.
Oh,
Sorry, guys.
well. Nothing God's always gotta get it out for me somehow.
All right. So, Sweet August Rose is in the temple. It has gone deeper. What would you guys like to do?
Amer's gonna be like, well, if it's gonna take a long time, can you point me in the direction of the Temple of Mkale?
He nods and points off in the distance.
Is it like a down road?
You will have to go to the center and take the arm that you came in upon and return to the Temple of Mkale.
Okay. So that's probably, about a 5 to 7 mile walk.
Unless people's faith have changed, yes.
People's faith don't change it that much to make it less of a walk than that.
Do you want to set up the walkie-talkie if we're gonna split up?
That's what I was gonna do. Now remember, the walkie-talkie, I believe, only goes for about a mile.
Okay.
So we'll check.
Might not help.
I mean, it'll help to a degree. But why don't we just do this? Say we just meet up in the center of town, when the center here, so the center of town, but the center of the plaza when we're done doing wherever. And we can kind of set up a small camp there. And we meet up there when we're ready.
Okay.
I don't want to sit here bored waiting for Rose. I want Rose to be able to do whatever she does, but I'm not looking to get gray hair while I wait for the next 300 years.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
Understood.
You don't have to apologize. This is good. This is good role play.
So,
It is good roleplay.
Amer's gonna.
We're just missing Sweet August Rose as a character at the moment.
Well, Testudinide is going to look at the Temple of the Elven Gods. Is there a dais or place where he could leave an offering?
Not outside. That's normally indoors, inside the temple itself.
Well, Testudinide will sit down on the steps and pull out a small book that has very tiny text on the front, so you can't quite read the cover. And says, "Well, I'll just wait for Rose here then."
I didn't bring a book, otherwise I'd done the same. I brought booze.
Oh,
Well,
really?
Yeah,
I
that's all
tell you
got
what,
booze.
how about one of these then? And Testudinide taps his staff of flowers, and out of a bit of dirt grows a full sunflower. And with a flick of his claw, he decapitates it and hands it to Amer.
Well, I guess I'll have a snack while I walk. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And
Brennan will ask Testudinide, because he doesn't have a book really. He just practices his little magic things. Do you? Well, not so much do you. I want to go see the temple that arose for yeah,
Emery Road.
Rosie.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I
Well,
thought.
I don't know anything about it though. Do you?
I mean, it's
Do you want to
brand
go
new.
with me?
I mean,
Well, it's uncharted territory, and I wouldn't want to cause waves, with the first person stepping foot into a new god's domain being the high cleric of another god. That sets bad precedent.
Ushu is what is the precedent here for a new temple and you being the medium? Would it work like the rest of the temples we've gone to?
I misunderstand. What do you mean?
So there's a new temple to Emery Rosie,
He nods.
and I mean it's real new. So if we went in there, would you then personify Emery Rosie?
I do not know what you mean by personify. From your history, you guys remember he has no memory of the events that go on when he's
Right.
in there.
Yeah, he doesn't know he's a medium.
I forget that.
Yeah, that's the player forgetting. That's
Yeah.
not the character.
Yeah. There's a lot of knowledge I remember. That's why I'm trying to take better notes.
Let's wait for Rose. I mean, if you want to go to MKL, I mean that's one thing. But let's wait for Rose, and then we'll go to Amarazi's temple as a group.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll just set out a bedroll here with Testadinidae and, just rest, I guess. I mean, there's no telling how long she's going to be in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then
just take a
Brennan-
rest, I guess.
Brennan will stay here, but he's not going to let Echo Rex rest. He's going to keep asking a bunch of annoying questions about this new god and this new because he doesn't know anything. So he's going to ask like, how are people going to worship? What's it going to look like? Are there symbols? What happens if you do this, etc.
Oops. I think Echo's probably gonna just make some shit up to keep Brennan occupied,
totally.
or just placate him a little bit.
Well-
He's gonna use like just normal dragon vernacular to explain some of this, and
Well, you
Some
do
of this
have a
just a bunch
subject
of
matter expert in the
crap.
party.
Well, you can
So, I mean-
intervene in the BS if you want.
yeah.
Yeah, Brennan's going to be interested in like what are the symbols going to look like? Like what are people going to have when they
Yeah,
worship?
Echo doesn't know about any of this. How it's gonna.
Nah.
He has no clue, so he's just gonna make it up and just stuff that he thinks Brennan's gonna fall for.
What are you going to tell him?
Okay.
Yeah, probably. What am I going to tell him? I guess it depends on the questions he asks, but
He'll ask
we'll make
specifically-
every 10 years we have to make a pilgrimage to the endless pinnacle kind of thing, and
That's
then
good.
and bring, I don't know, gold carvings of other dragons or other dragon horde relics to Amarazi's to the endless pinnacle, as tribute or something of that nature.
Brennan's gonna ask, and then I'll stop this weird. But he's really interested in like artifacts. Like, well, every religion has like a symbol or something, so you know what it is. What's it gonna be for him?
Yeah, so I think for Amarazi that it would probably be the artifacts that we found: the heart, the horn, the eyes. Those would be the symbols and the artifacts of Amarazi. And I don't know, maybe the staff that I'm carrying of the the redeemed staff of the remembered one. Maybe that'll be like a holy symbol or a holy staff of Amarazi.
Okay.
But I'm just making stuff up, so just so Brennan let it go.
Well, he believes it all, so.
Deceiving that poor innocent child.
Yep.
I approve. Good job.
Cool.
Echo
Well
has
done
no
there.
clue.
All right, I'm just clearing something real quick. I'm working with Sweet August Rose here, trying to make sure that where I'm going with what we're doing is where we're going to go.
No, that's the fine. I'm also going to Temple of MKL to kill time here. You know what I mean? More than anything
Yeah.
else.
Yep. All right. Cool.
I don't know. MKL might kill more than time.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the place to go.
MKL and Aimer have a history. Aimer has a frequent flyer card.
Okay. So, as Aimer is going to set off, the camera is going to slide back into the temple itself, where Sweet August Rose is walking deeper into the darkness. You walk, and you hear a muttering around you, Sweet August Rose. You hear a child crying. It's off to your right. On your left, you hear a little boy. Help me. The child cries more insistently to your right. What would you like to do?
So which one sounds closer?
They're equidistant.
Yeah, she'll say out loud, "If you can hear me, come to my voice."
Help me.
Hmm. She will so there's a little boy to the left and it
Crying
sounds like a
infant on the right.
baby on the right.
Yep.
Well then so then she'll go to the right and try to approach the baby.
You hear the slash of a sword behind you, and you hear a rolling sound that you're familiar with. A head rolls across stone. The child, as you approach, is swaddled in a black fabric. Green eyes look up at you, and you recognize them. Much smaller. The canid lays there and coos as you approach.
She'll pick him up. Is he still crying when she
She
approaches? Or she? I'm sorry. Is she still crying?
As you get there, she begins sobbing and stops and looks up at you.
Rose will pick up the baby.
You pick her up, and she dissolves into smoke. You hear a whoosh behind you. Well done.
Yeah, I mean, you are the finder of lost children.
What would you like to do?
Rose will continue because she can't see anything at all, right?
Right.
So she will continue walking forward.
Okay. You continue walking forward, and you can see in the distance 4 candles resting on the floor. In a circle around them, illuminated by the candles, you see a series of charcoal lines forming a circle. Interconnecting lines within it form a pentagram. And within the pentagram, there is a woman in a black robe, hooded. You can't see her face. She is facing you with her arms spread wide.
Uh, Rose will approach her. Greetings.
He looks at you and gestures for you to step into the circle.
Rose will do so.
You feel a stab of pain in your back as your foot touches inside the circle. Walls form around you, smoke swirling, illuminated by the candles. The smoke ignites into flame. As you are standing here, the fire rises to form a cylinder, inescapable, with you and this woman inside of it. She looks at you from under the hood, and you see there two golden eyes. It's been a long time since you've seen those eyes. Do you remember them? Please roll a history check.
Oh no. Oh wow.
With a 21, you recognize those eyes. They're your own.
Rose. Yeah. Rose blinks and gestures and looks at the woman and just says, "You know, from what I remember as a child, most of the initiations were just going out into the woods and doing weird stuff out there."
The woman throws aside her robe, and she is dressed as you are. You hear a whisper from the flames. Show us where your strength comes from.
Comes from inside myself.
You lie. The flames get hotter and the cylinder contracts.
Do I?
The individual before you gets into a readied pose for combat.
Okay. Rose prepares herself. Do I roll initiative?
Nope. What would you like to do?
Do I have to defeat myself? Rose is actually asking this out loud to herself.
Is your strength lie? Do not say your soul.
No. I suppose the other way of saying that is within myself.
You're wrong. And as you say that, the figure will sweep the leg.
Rose will,
As you are going to... does a 24 strike you?
No, Rose, lifts her leg, and this is a pretty standard move. She dodges it.
Okay. What would you like to do next?
Rose will attempt to grapple her
Okay.
as well, so... Ooh, didn't roll that good.
The other figure is going to step to the side. And as she does so, she's going to look at you and shift. She grabs your ear and pulls hard. Need you to roll your acrobatics or athletics check. Need you to beat a 18. So you're able to get free. She will then bring her knee up into your chest.
That misses as well.
Where does your strength come from?
Discipline, harmony, and focus is where it comes from.
You lie! And
really don't.
The fires contract even further.
And Rose is going to strike her.
Okay,
I think I missed.
you do miss. As she
Do I
catches
get-
your fist in her hand.
And I will use a bonus action
Okay,
to do it again.
sure.
I think that hits.
A 28 does strike her. As you punch her in the side of the face, she looks up at you and the fires expand outwards, so you have a little bit of breathing room. You're strong. But how strong are you? And why are you strong?
The reason? The reason I wanted my strength is because I realized that ultimately it's the only thing I have control of in this world.
I don't have control of that. And she's going to reach out to touch you. And we're going to try to touch you. Here we go.
She gonna try to stun me?
Does 18 will miss you as you're able
Nope.
to dodge to the side.
I mean, if this is the way it's gonna be, you know what? She's going to attempt to grapple her again.
Okay.
Hopefully, I roll better than a 3 this time.
And let's see. She got a 25. So you grabbed a hold of her.
Okay, Rose will say something. My master taught me that it is better to conquer yourself than to win 1,000 battles.
Your
And,
master is not here.
Yeah, but I am. And then Rose is gonna shove her face into the fire.
Her face into the fire. Awesome. Please, I need you to roll 8d6.
Oh no, I'm burning myself. Well, I punched her. Did that hurt me before?
Nope.
When I punched her? But the fire, putting her in the fire is burning me?
There's a very specific set of things that's going on.
Oh, I have no idea what the fuck is
I know.
going on.
Maybe you're burning her, Rose, you know?
Oh, maybe. Yeah. Me? Who knows? I don't know. 86.
Okay, with a 27 damage. As the fire burns at her flesh, you watch as it's seared off of her face. A massive removal of the skin. You can see all the way down to the bone.
Ugh.
3rd-degree burns.
Well, now I know she's not me because 27 damage would not do that to Rose.
She looks up at you. Her eyes are still yours. Where do you get your strength from? And she's going to reach out and try to punch you. Do not lie.
That one hits.
Where does your strength come from?
I mean, I haven't been lying, so I don't know what she wants to hear. Rose just says, I have no idea why you insist on lying, because that is where my strength comes from. From my desire to better myself.
4. And she stands up,
Oh, I'll take
straightens
13
herself.
13 damage.
She wipes from her chin upwards over her head, and her hair extends backwards. Long and black and straight. Wearing a green crown, Gwyleth stands before you. You still have much to learn, child. You are not ready to be one of the Sable Mysteries. Perhaps in time, you may try again. But for now, you must be gone and learn where your strength truly comes from. And she will reach out and touch your face gently and kiss you on the cheek, motherly. Don't be sad. Failure is a way to learn. All must learn.
Yeah. Well, it was worth a shot. I'm not disappointed. I'll have another chance if I survive Bourbon.
Reach out to me before, Bourbon. You will not survive as you are. We will send our helper, our chosen, as agreed before. But until that time, you are not ready. You must learn from whence your strength comes.
Rose, puts her fist in one open palm and gives Gwyleth a deep bow. I will take your advice under consideration. Thank you, Gwyleth. Thank you for giving me a chance.
The doors to the temple will open, and you can see the light outside. You can see a path there as well across the stones.
Oh shit!
The
Yeah,
obscuring darkness is gone.
You'll start heading towards the doors.
Okay. As you head to the doors, the camera pans outside, where the group has been waiting for 48 hours. Aimer?
Aimer here.
Did you go to the Temple of Imkale?
Yep, I did.
All right. As you approach the white and red building, it's impressive. And then you remember the last words that Imkale said to you. What would you like to do, sir?
I don't remember the last words MKL said to me.
I don't want to see you anytime soon.
Oh, that is a good point. Aimer would think of that more as him being dead than
Okay,
alive.
that's valid.
But then again, is Ushu here?
Ushu would have come if you asked him to.
No, Aimer wouldn't have gone. He wasn't planning on going into the temple.
Okay.
He
unless
just
you
came-
guys asked him to, he would have stayed there.
Yeah, no. Aimer just went to it to kneel, give a brief little prayer, and just basically say thank you. Put his hand on the temple and came back. It's mostly a ceremonial thing.
Very well.
Uh,
I just had to check in.
Yeah, no,
Oh.
he's just going to do it just to give respect, and that's it.
Cool. All right. So, Echo, Testudinidae, and Brennan. For 2 days, she's gone. What would you guys do for 2 days?
Well, at first, they suggest they go find the god of interior decorations, see if they can hang out in that temple for a while.
Brennan would keep asking questions and then finally stop and take out his leatherwork kit and take like a 35, 40 centimeter piece off of his backpack strap and
Sure.
just start working on it for something to do.
Okay. Awesome. Echo?
Yeah, I think Echo would just work on some scrolls. He would just rest and study, work on his compendium, and just do some scrolls, I guess.
Okay.
Well, in that case, Testudinidae has been writing as well, but he's been writing almost like a Mad Libs fill in the blanks on how to run a temple. So our primary symbol is and leaves a blank, and our rituals involve this and this and that, and he's basically laid out a fill in the blanks for Echo for creating the basic dogma of the Church of Amarazi.
Awesome. Would you like to go ahead and do so that I can hand it to him and make him fill it out?
Yeah, I think I can do that.
Okay. We're going to have some fun with this, just saying.
Uh-huh.
Because we're going to hand it to all the clerics, not just Echo.
That's just awesome.
I'm a cleric. I gotta fill it out too.
Yeah.
Oh, fun! I actually like Mad Libs, so
Yeah, they're kind of fun.
Yeah.
All right. So 2 days pass. You guys all get 2 long rests, except for Sweet August Rose,
Mm-hmm.
who will eventually emerge from the Temple of Gwyleth.
Rose is sporting a black eye because the clone did get one good shot on her face that hit. So yeah. Rose is frowning pensively as she walks out and picks up her staff.
Yeah. Tessidide is trying not to be snarky. You can really hear him holding it back. He says, "When you're ready to try again, maybe let's do a practice session."
Try what again?
This, and just gestures to the black eye.
I mean, unless you know something about the mysteries, the Sable mysteries, I doubt there's much you could teach me about it.
I know gods. They're not as different as they make us think they are.
Anyways,
You were gone
unfortunately,
for 2 days.
really 2 days.
That was really
Don't-
bored. Really bored.
Oh, my apologies. I didn't think it would take that long. It only felt like 30 minutes at most. Though, funnily enough, that's the second time I've come to this plaza, attempted to do something for a long period of time inside a temple only to get rejected. Except for with Zerud, it took 6 months. At least this time it was only 2 days.
Drew wouldn't let me in, so I feel it. I did
But-
almost eat Cecilia though. That reminded me of that.
Well, I can't say I'm not disappointed, but well, that's life.
Well, if your business is done, I do have a little business with the Elven Pantheon.
Oh,
I should be back a bit quicker than you. And Tessidide is going to walk in.
You're going to walk into this temple? Okay.
Yes.
All right, to the Temple of Gwylith. As you walk in, it is dark.
Tessidide, as he enters the darkness, is just going to take up a kneeling position, which is rather awkward for a turtle. And he reaches into a pouch and pulls out a small hand-carved wooden fishing hook, a gift from his favorite nephew that carries some sentimental value. With a moment of almost hesitation, he places it on the ground before him and slides it forward and says, "Thank you for the help on Solosh. Your intervention was the difference that has saved countless lives from an exponential spread of foulness. When the tales of this grand adventure are codified, I will ensure your contribution shines among the flourishes of blades and magic."
You will hear a voice next to you. Thank you. It's a precious gift. Your mother is a friend of mine. Say hello should you meet her, and give her a kiss from me. And you'll feel a hand on the side of your face, right next to your lower jaw. And it's going to try to move your head to the left. Are you going to allow her to move your face?
Yes, he's not going to resist a god trying to move his head, because a god could remove his head.
There's a beautiful woman there. Long black hair with a green crown. She's dressed simply in black and silver. You recognize the amount of power here. She's a seductress. She's sultry. And even for you, a Tortolan, there's a temptation there. And she's going to lean in so close. Give her a kiss from me. And she's going to give you a kiss on the lips. As such they are, the beak.
Little bonk.
As you have been kissed on the snoot, she withdraws, and you gain inspiration. She reaches down to the little fish hook, picks it up, holds it in two hands, and steps away into the darkness.
As she steps away, Tessidide says, "I can see why my mother is a friend of yours. The way she pursued my father is still gossiped about in my hometown."
Anything else you'd like to do?
Nope, that was a good interaction with the god. He is gonna.
All right, as you go out, please roll an insight check, sir.
I'm good at that.
With an 18 insight, she didn't mean your physical mother.
Yeah, pretty sure she was talking about Anwa, buddy.
Ah,
Gwylith is the god of the moon too, so they have overlapping domains.
mm-hmm.
All right, so you emerge pretty much immediately.
Dissident gives a nod to Rose, lacking a black eye.
Well, are you finished?
Oh, indeed, it went quite well.
Oh yeah. Giving your thanks is generally a good idea. Never hurts to be polite.
Oh, indeed. You know, as the saying goes, words first, because you can always follow words with violence, but you can rarely follow violence with words.
Depends how violent you are.
And that's why we use the words.
Yeah. I had an old compatriot at the temple who insisted he could talk with his fists. He was kind of crazy, though.
Well, I can talk my fists. Watch this. And Dissident holds up a hand, covers his mouth a bit, and does a little ventriloquist act with, the crude hand mouth. Oh, Rose, how are you?
No, it was sort of he was a very odd duck. It was the sort of thing where he would insist that people could get their feelings through to each other by fist fighting.
I have flashbacks to Howard the Duck and that weird scene with like the actor when they kissed the turtle. I don't know.
Yeah.
But regardless, I thank all of you for your patience with allowing me to attempt this.
I don't know what you attempted, but as long as you're happy, I don't have to talk to the elven gods. It's all good.
Yeah, well, I failed, but I think it's important to fail. It keeps me from getting too big ahead.
Well,
I don't have anything nice to say.
So there are 5 other temples to the elven gods here that you guys have not visited. You guys have the Temple of Emery and Rosie that you guys have expressed interest in. You've expressed interest in a variety of things. What would you guys like to do?
Should she talk to the stage? I just don't want to take any more of the party's time for personal scenes.
Hey! We're here in the Plaza of the Gods. You're probably get another chance to do that while we're doing it. Go do what you want to do.
Yeah. Seriously.
Well, yeah. Then she'll. Sorry. Yeah. So then she'll go to the temple. I'm sorry. I wrote down his name and where did I write it? Here we go. She'll go to the temple of where is it? Tanithil.
Okay.
The Chronicler.
Sure.
This is going to be more business oriented. So she's not going to insist to come alone at this time because this is about Cervantes' business.
Are you taking Ushu with you?
Well, he has to come inside, doesn't he?
If you want him to go in, yeah.
I mean,
So
yeah.
he will go over to the temple of Tanithil. And he will walk inside. This place is very big. It looks like an enormous library from the outside. As he walks inside, he reaches over and picks up a staff that's leaning against the gate here. He begins using it as a crutch the moment he steps through the threshold. His back arches over, and he appears weathered and old. He gestures for you guys to follow.
I'm following him.
He walks up to a table. Is anyone staying outside?
Amer's staying outside.
Okay. Anybody else? No? Ricard will stay outside because I'm not going to make him go in here if he's not here.
And Tessidine thinks that Rose could use some guidance on dealing with the divine.
Okay. Echo, you going in?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Brennan?
Nah, Brandon's gonna stay out and keep working on his little leather contraption.
Okay. I'm curious as to what he's making. All right. As someone who actually has a leatherworking kit in the other room, I'm kind of curious.
Cool.
So, as you guys walk in, he steps up through this very well lit temple to a table where there's a massive book. It's easily 10 inches thick. Ushu's form reaches over and picks it up under an arm and turns to you. His eyebrows are bushy, and he looks at you all. Yeah, welcome. I didn't think to have met you yet, Miss Rose. Did I miss Amer?
He's shy.
My brother likes him.
Really?
Yeah, finds him funny. Something about jokes. Yeah. So, what can I do for you?
Well, Rose will give a deep bow and just say, well, first, Tanithal, I would like to thank you for agreeing to help me in my quest.
Yeah, pleasantries. I appreciate them and I understand they're necessary. That's fine. What's the point?
Well, the point here is that ultimately, I believe that knowledge is a powerful weapon, and my knowledge about my enemy is severely lacking. And well, you're the knower of all things, so if I should ask anyone, I figured it might as well be you.
I don't know everything, but I know most things. So, what do you want to know? And just be direct. I like to get to the end.
she laughs at that. I can see that makes a lot of sense. Okay.
Yeah. You know, what's the point of all the frivolity when we got things to do?
Tessidine clears his throat and says, Rose, a moment?
Yeah.
Yes, Testu.
Okay, it looks like you're, it's going full Clippy. It looks like you're about to ask questions directly of the gods. One thing to consider is that the gods can't just reveal each other's secrets, because if your god reveals their god's secrets, their god's going to reveal your god's secrets, and that never works out well for the realm. The best thing to do is to ask for the path to the answer you're looking for. Asking where you can find the information. Don't ask for the information directly. That spoils the game, so to speak, that is the mortal existence.
Doesn't the divination spell ask gods questions directly?
Yes, and trying to get direct answers for them is an exercise in futility.
No, it's yes or no usually. But I mean, that's magic, so I don't know. This is literally just talking to somebody.
You know what they say, magic's for nerds.
That's what I say.
Yeah, I'm a nerd.
But
right, I'm just saying, bear in mind that the rules apply both ways. So if you try and directly take their secrets, they get to directly take yours.
I'm not going to ask about any god's secrets. The secrets I'm interested in are very much mortal ones. She'll turn, but thank you, Testu. She'll turn back to Tanithal and just say, in the interest of expediency, like you said, I spoke to a spirit who told me that Cervantes' weaknesses are, 1, his family, and 2, being attacked from above.
Yeah.
The family thing I've recognized is that, his family is likely to betray him. No one likes him. But the attacking from above thing, was that spirit being literal? Just literally jumping on him from above, or attacking his castle from above? Is that what it meant?
I'm not sure what they meant. What exactly do you want to know?
The most effective way to attack Cervantes.
Ah, that's very broad.
It is.
It's very broad.
If you can point me in the right direction, I would appreciate it.
Eh. He points at the door and smiles. A little bit of a humor. Anyway. No, as far as attacking from above, you're looking to attack which of the Cervantes?
Don Ricardo.
Oh! Then they're probably talking about the city itself, which is obviously better defended from the ground than it is from the air. Perhaps you could attack the palace from above, as opposed to assaulting it from the ground floor.
That's what I was thinking.
That would be a challenge, though.
There's air defenses, ballista. Yes, I was told that by a friend of
Oh,
mine.
more than that. You know, if you weren't my niece, my sister's child, then I wouldn't tell you this. But you're not going to have a good time getting in there. It's full of traps and full of demons and fiends. He's made deals with all sorts of crazy people and gods himself. He's quite the loon. You're sure you want to do this? You may end up visiting me once more. And, if you do, you might become a permanent resident. I got a bed just down the way there. And he points, and at the far end of the temple, there's open coffin.
Everything I do may end up with me coming to see you like that.
I don't want you to do that yet, though. It's not your time yet. You're young and pretty and, well, I'm sure it'll come down soon enough. But what do I know?
A lot.
He smiles broadly at you. What else can I do for you?
So he was advising me not to attack from the air,
He didn't say that at all.
because he said there's lots of traps there, which I assumed.
Yep.
But,
He's just telling you dangers that you pretty much already knew for the most part, but he's also confirming the fact that attacking from the air will be safer than attacking from the ground, which is going to be dangerous regardless, but less so, supposedly.
I was told by several informants that he has wards that split the city into quarters, and that you need special stones in order to pass through them.
He
Do
nods.
those invisible walls have ceilings?
Oh, yes.
Damn. Okay, so in order to attack from this above, we're gonna need a ward stone.
Oh, yes. Yeah, at least one.
Okay.
You're not going in alone, are you?
Oh no. Oh. I have my friends with me and other allies.
They are your true strength.
Is that really what you wanted me to say? Rose will just shake her head and it's just sorry. I got distracted.
Yeah, Doug is shaking his head too. Like you should have known that the whole time.
Oh come on,
I'm sitting here listening, and I'm like,
one. It's too sappy, and two, it literally goes against her entire.
No, it doesn't.
belief
Not when you
structure.
got the entire group that you're trying to join being the Sable Mysteries. No, that's exactly it.
I was loving it. I was like, he's never gonna get this.
No, because like that's literally like the start of her entire like ethos was
But
that she can't rely on.
I know, but I know Eric, and I was like, yeah, it's not gonna.
Yeah, she can't rely on other people, which is why she's a monk, which is
Right.
what
Right. It's totally in character that she would never say that. Absolutely. Which is part of why that's the trial, is to see if she has grown outside of that or not. And at the moment, she hasn't, which is fine. But
there's a reason there's an age cap on it.
yeah, exactly.
Because the older you get, the less likely you are to
Trust others.
Or rather to subsume the power that you have gained to a divine will.
Right. So there's a variety of answers I would have accepted, that Gwyleth would have accepted, I should say. Okay, Eric's personalizing Gwyleth. But there's a variety of answers she would have accepted. You now have insight as a player into one of them.
So, anyways, the character too was just when Tanithel said that, I'm sure he saw everything that happened and he's laughing on the inside. But she just nods and just says, "Okay, all right, so." All right. So this is something I have to be careful about. I was advised to be careful with a direct question like this, and in this case, I agree with my turtle friend here. The entity that Cervantes has bargained with, I'm not asking for any direct information, but where could I go to try to learn more about this creature and how to counter it?
Oh, as far as Cervantes himself, he's a tough cookie. He asked me the same question.
Cervantes did?
Of course. He and I are friends.
Really? I didn't think he was
What? Smart?
a worshiper of the elven gods.
Oh, not a worshiper, but at least a visitor. See, he wanted knowledge about the old things. Things that are in the front of the book. And he taps the massive tome under his arm. Some of the things he learned, I thought would destroy him. He's more devious than you think.
Well, I always imagined him as being very crafty.
Very crafty indeed. Quite the genius. Yeah.
From my understanding, he only entered into a bargain with that entity fairly recently, like within the last century.
Oh, one of them.
There's more than one?
Oh, yes.
Oh, jeez.
Don Ricardo, is got his finger in so many pots, I'm not sure he can keep track. He sought the way to consume others. Tore the page out of my book even. Don't have it anymore. It's a shame. If you manage to defeat him, I'd like the page back.
If I obtain it, I will make sure to give it back to you.
Now, what should you know about him? Well, he takes the powers of others and uses them for his own benefit, learning from their physical traits. It's horrible. He's done it to fiends and angels, beyonders and outsiders. He's more intelligent than nearly any being on the face of Toivoa, save for a few. He's cunning and crafty, and he believes himself to be immortal. He's not quite there, but could get there. he has eyes on setting up a home here. After all, should he manage to do so, then his immortality would be assured. Simply due to fear, he would be able to be worshipped by those who fear him as a god.
So that's his goal, apotheosis?
Among others, it's more of power. He has a fear of being weak and unable to protect himself. It comes from when he was a child. See, not always were the Cervantes in charge. Long ago, your family ruled Bourbon. And he was but a street rat who had to rise in name and fame in order to bring himself to power. He's brought himself up by his own bootstraps, you might say. And now rules as the master of a massive empire of slaves and fiends, while his real estate is small and limited to a city. His influence is felt throughout the lands.
Rose is blinking pretty rapidly at the start of that. Wow. I did not know that about him. About his past.
Listen, child. When you know yourself first, you've been working on it. And hopefully you are able to learn further more about yourself. Because when you know yourself and you know your enemy, you will never lose. Until that time, should you know yourself and not your enemy, you will lose half your battles. Know not yourself and nor your enemy, you will lose them all.
I see your wisdom. But it's just funny. It's just
It depends
No.
on your point of view.
well, no, funny is what you just told me about Cervantes. This really is just a large circle, isn't it?
Life is a circle. We are all circles.
All right. What's that line from? I forget which movie. I think it's an Adam Sandler movie where the priest is talking about a marriage being like a circle.
Oh,
it
man.
has no corners.
It has no corners, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, so all this suffering, all this damage he's done, it all stems from his fear of being powerless.
Yes. Listen,
Batman.
we must understand that we all act out of fear. We all do. Even me. I act out of fear of loneliness. I don't want to be unvisited. I fear not knowing things. I fear losing my memories. That's why I write them down. Until you understand your fear and what you're afraid of happening, you will be unable to succeed. You must
No, it's-
understand it, embrace it, and move towards it.
I understand part of it. It's funny. The thing that started me on my path was the exact same thing that started him on his. I was afraid of being powerless when I grew up on the streets of Shua after everything was destroyed. You saw how I nearly died that one time, right?
Oh, yes, yes. What you didn't see was that he was closer than you thought. The cobra in the window.
No, I'm talking about the beating, but
Oh, that was most unfortunate.
that was the moment that I realized, like, couldn't rely on anyone else. I was afraid. And that's why I cultivated my own strength.
Yes, yes. Whatever happened to the person who beat you? Do you know?
Oh, well, the guards, they died of old age. I never got the chance to see them again. They were all humans. By the time it was when I tried to pawn my mother's signet ring for food money, and the pawn shop owner decided that I had stolen it and had the guards beat me. I nearly died, but part of my initiation was to get the ring back. But that was 70 years later. By the time that happened, the pawn shop owner had passed away, and I'm sure those guards died of old age as well. I think they were all human. It was hard to tell. They were wearing armor.
It's a shame that was your first true introduction to me. Learning experiences. It's the one side of me that I don't really like. People associate me with them all the time. The bad events that teach us are usually the best teachers.
Well, pain is the best teacher. That is true.
Mm.
But no, it's just I was here after tactical information about Cervantes, but I think what you've told me is something I need to meditate on.
Yeah. It's the way we kind of work. He knows. Pointing at Tester Day.
It just gives a slow nod, having dealt with this level of shenanigans, but as he's been acknowledged, he steps forward and says, "Hey, I do have some questions for you, if you don't mind."
I don't mind. I
Well,
can have a question in turn.
Okay, well, you've been acquainted with Cervantes, and as one who's so well documented yourself, you mentioned that Cervantes has gathered powers from entities beyond this realm and subsumed them into his form, taking on essences that oppose each other at their most basic structure. Could this menagerie of conflicting essences within a mortal form be brought into conflict to diminish his power?
Potentially. Not sure if it's been done before, though. You'd have to try various things and experiment. And let me know when you succeed or fail. Either way, the knowing of these things would be important.
Oh, indeed. It would certainly require a bit of experimentation, conjuration, and a bit of blasphemy, but we could certainly experiment.
Oh, be careful with the blasphemy. I'm not a big fan. But, if you did manage to defeat him, I do have a bed prepared. He smiles broadly at the coffin at the far end of the temple.
Ah, yes. How to put this? I just didn't realize he has run out of his dad joke quota for the day.
He smiles. Now, may I ask my question?
Well, it depends. Was that the question?
No.
Then yes.
What's it like in your shell?
Good question. It's like asking, what's the I've heard it being compared to being asked, what's the inside of your mouth like? I would say that it feels comforting. It feels that you have something protecting you from the outside world, but at the same time, you feel that you could be on your feet in a moment. It's certainly convenient when one has to spend 48 hours on some stone steps outside of a temple for unexpected reasons. Because I can always be comfortable. So I would say that would be the most appropriate word. It feels comfortable.
Thank you.
Yeah, I imagine it would feel pretty cozy inside your own shell.
But you mentioned Cervantes' past and his rise to power, and I wonder, is there anything that he desires that he be willing to leave the safety of his domain to obtain?
Yes. There's one thing.
Ah, then it seems we have some investigation to do.
Oh, not that much. I don't mind sharing. After all, we're all friends here. I'm not exactly my sister. No, see. And he will reach into his book and pull out a wanted poster. He hands you the wanted poster. On the wanted poster, there is a beautiful tiefling, hair blowing in the wind, on the prow of a ship.
Oh God.
I thought it was Aimer.
Aimer doesn't get caught. That's the difference.
The tiefling woman stands proud with dark skin, adventure in her eyes, a cutlass at her side. She holds onto one of the ropes, and she's got the sword extended, ready to conquer the seas. The price on the wanted poster has been scratched out, and the name Saphira is emblazoned across the top.
What? I
Oh.
thought. Yeah,
Well,
well,
to
Rose
fit
will
it
see
in,
that.
sorry, guys.
Oh, no, go ahead. It's she is surprised.
Well, Today holds up and says, I've never seen a wanted poster that captured adventure in the eyes like that before. Normally, the pictures in a wanted poster tend to be a bit unflattering. This almost looks like a recruitment poster, if not for the bounty.
Indeed. Well, the
Oh,
bounty has been canceled.
Yeah,
This is what he desires.
She likes to pose. Rose will take the poster and just say, seriously? I know Leandro has business over there, but Don Ricardo wants her too?
Indeed. Yes. They want her for the same reason.
Is it about... She can't say it. Shit. She made a oath
Yeah.
that she wouldn't talk about it. Fuck.
Uh-huh.
Is it about a certain item that they are in possession of?
No.
Does it have anything to do with... Like, you can see like a vein bulging on her neck. She's like, trying to not violate an oath she made.
I love it so much. As a GM, this is the delightful point where the character is caught. Can't say anything about it. Can't ask anything about
well,
it.
no, she could, but she'd have to face the consequences.
Right.
So, both Don Ricardo and Cervantes want Saphira for the same reason. And is it because of... May I ask what that reason is?
He smiles. She knows where something is that they desire.
I see.
She lied, and they want to make her tell the truth.
I see. Huh. I think I need to talk to some people. Thank you, Tanithil. This has actually been extremely enlightening.
Of course. Who else is you going to ask? You're not going to ask anybody else of those, other gods. They're not going to talk to you.
I am attempting to reconnect with my culture, so...
Of course,
Yes.
course. I appreciate that. By the way, you're a fine example. Have you considered having children?
I have, but not at the moment. It would be, ill-advised for both mine and the children's health.
Well, you don't have forever.
Not forever, but I still think I have plenty of time, subjectively.
They all do. They all do. Oh well. Huh. So, anything else that I can do for you, gentlemen? Echo, are you in here?
Yeah, Echo's here.
Okay. Is there anything you would ask of the knowledge of the elven god of knowledge of death and endings?
No, I don't.
No?
I don't
Okay.
guess so.
Cool.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
All right. So, you guys ready to leave?
Yeah, Rose will just give a deep bow to Tanathel and just say,
No, wait. Say that again. What's he the god of?
The elven god of knowledge, death, and endings, along with magic.
Of knowledge.
well, one thing,
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
chronicler.
Echo is interested in something. So I've been studying enchanting and arcana, and
Yes.
although I'm just a kobold, I think I have reached a pinnacle of knowledge, and but there's something that still eludes my grasp, and that is permanency. And no matter what I do, I can't seem to grasp permanency.
That's because everything comes to an end.
So
Permanency is difficult. But if you'd like, I can show you the tactic on how to do so.
yes, I would love to learn that knowledge.
Of course, of course. It's quite simple. All you need to do is have some time and practice. See, you cast the spell, you enchant the item the same way every day, without fail, for 1 year, and the magic will become permanent.
Okay. All right.
Fail once, and your effort would be lost.
Yeah, I see.
But what exactly are you seeking to make permanent? Your life, young kobold, is not long left. Soon you'll visit me or one of my siblings.
Most certainly. If not here in just a matter of days or weeks.
I do have a bed prepared.
Yeah, so, I'm sure. Yeah, I put a lot of time and knowledge and energy and effort into my magic. And as I said, permanency is the thing that escapes me. I can do nearly anything I can imagine except pull that off, and I see it's going to take patience. Yeah, I think that's all I need. I don't have one thing. There are a couple of things I've been considering, but I don't have one thing.
Well, from what I understand,
There was an ancient book. It was an ancient book that I read that had a spell for permanency, and you had to sacrifice your constitution for permanency, but it was a much faster route to the same problem. But I'm not sure if it actually would work or not.
such a book is necromantic in nature and to be very careful with. Should you choose to access that knowledge, be cautious.
Of course.
Or
Okay,
you may
Echo.
be visiting me sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
And if I
Where's
may
your-
echo, making magics permanent tends to involve setting an ending condition for the spell. I mean, there's an epic tale of mighty guardians who were betrayed by those they sought to protect and were turned to stone, a curse that would remain until their castle rose above the clouds, and thus the magic was effectively permanent until one of grand vision and handsome voice moved the castle brick by brick to a tower high above the clouds.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Now, permanence is relative. Permanence to the average kobold, no offense to you, might be, 30 years long. Wow, that spell lasted generations. But to an elf, 30 years is, a one long weekend bender.
True.
Yeah. Yeah. Indeed.
Nothing. Yeah, it's true. Nothing is permanent, but some things are more sturdy than others. That's for sure. So, making a spell.
Some infinities are greater than other infinities.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all infinities are equal, but some are greater than others. Yeah.
Indeed. So,
Especially at
true
large values of
permanence-
infinity. Anyone did calculus?
No, actually, that's when math stopped making sense for me.
Okay.
Yeah. I loved math until I took calculus, and then I was just like, nope, I hate it now. Bye. But yeah,
There are also spells that can be maintained by ritual. There are, after all, many druidic groves are protected by magics that would fade within a year, but so long as the proper ritual is conducted at the end of every season, the magics remain.
Yeah.
And so
yeah,
that is, again, effectively permanent.
Yeah, I think Echo's kind of looking for a shortcut. So in the game mechanics, it really casting a spell every day for 100 days, we may go the entire campaign without reaching 100 days.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's that kind of thing.
Yeah, at the same
The
time,
game
even if you
mechanics
make
don't
it...
allow for permanency. The 3.5 rule, I think it was the third edition rule was that you had to give up a point of constitution to cast
There
a
was,
ninth level
an
spell
experience
permanency.
chart.
Yep.
oh yeah,
so
there was also the permanency spell, but you had
Yep.
to give up experience to cast it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll see if the
But,
new book has anything good like that. We'll get that in 2
doubt it
weeks.
will.
I
That
doubt it.
permanency
Yeah.
Yeah, permanency it's up there with Wish. You can do some stupid stuff. with
I
it,
know.
Yeah, and you have to remember, even if you say cast permanency upon a particular spell of enhancement, it's one dispel of magic away from poof.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
we
that's
face
the-
foes who have that a lot.
Yeah, that's the true polymorph. You can true polymorph into a gold dragon, but then somebody can dispel it.
Yep.
Unless, of course, you true polymorph to a dragon and then create a clone. Then when the dragon dies 100 days later, poof, you're a gold dragon.
There's a couple things that you can do. But yeah, permanence
Yeah,
gets
it's some weird
gross.
stuff like that. It does. Yeah, that's it.
All right, cool. You guys ready to leave the Temple of Tanithil, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about
sure.
this diversion, guys, but let's go talk to Emma Rosie now, I suppose.
Oh,
Let's-
yes, I am. Tsude has already manifested another head of a sunflower, and he is ready to snack and watch on Echo squirm.
Yeah, this is gonna be.
Yeah, Echo's always nervous when he has to deal with Amarosby.
This is gonna be. Oh, who knows? Maybe he'll appreciate it.
Maybe he will.
I don't think. I doubt it. I think. I mean, the gods have greater chains than any other beings in Toivoa. I think.
No, Amarazi has ambition, I'm sure, and he probably doesn't enjoy this whole cycle of dying and rebirth.
Maybe.
So I
Did
don't
you
know.
ask him that?
I did not. We had a short conversation about Aimer, and that was about it.
Yeah, I think we should. What? Hey, Aimer, really?
I
Why
never
Aimer?
never got to deity yet.
Are Are all the clerics gonna huddle before we go there and try to work out what it is that we do when we get there?
We only have one cleric.
Well, I thought we had people at multi-class.
We're
No, I
planning.
don't think so.
Aimer's a cleric.
Oh yeah, he has like. Oh yeah, he
Uh,
took a
what-
cleric of MKL. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have 1 level cleric.
Yeah,
Like the worst cleric ever.
it's awesome. It's the best
Okay.
cleric ever.
He was
But
just
are
trying
we
for
gonna do
that Baldur's
the
Gate 3
magic?
achievement where he
Hey,
gets
hey.
all the classes.
Hey, let me tell you something. I still have a high enough DC that I can command Echo to do things. So
Oh yeah, yeah. I think Aimer just got the paper certification. Yeah, he did the online.
Hey,
He did
oh,
the
yeah.
online.
this is what my
Yeah.
frequent flyer MKL card got me. Okay, at 4 deaths, I got the opportunity to become a cleric of MKL.
Yeah,
Well, Aimer wants all the classes, but I think we've met Aimer. He has no class.
I have all the
Mm.
class.
All right.
He's
Yeah, we
with his
cannot take you to a
Gucci
fancy
boots.
party.
Aimer is the fancy party.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, that's actually Brendan.
Yep. So as you guys leave Tanathil's temple, Ushu will put the book down and the staff and come back out straight and proud once again.
Well, time for the interminable hike to the other end of the city.
Yep. It's going to take you the better part of 7 hours of walking.
Okay.
As you guys pass numerous temples, Ushu doesn't say anything. Is there anything you guys want to do on the walk?
Yeah, Brendan wants to know what we're gonna do when we get there.
I'm gonna say hi.
Like, are we gonna do
And,
Are there ceremonies or anything, or any canon that we've come up with? Like, what do we do when we walk in?
You know, I don't really expect to see Amarazi there. I mean, or hear from him. Maybe we will, but I just want to see the temple.
I feel like
And-
we're
As
we're
the one who
yeah.
created the temple, you're effectively the high cleric until someone else is designated.
I guess
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
maybe.
how do you worship it?
All right. So after the 7 hours pass of listening to Ushu's damn sandals constantly in rhythm,
Actually, if it's a 7-hour journey, Testadinde whispers over his shoulder and has a brief conversation, and the little lizard crawls out from the nape of his neck, and as it jumps forward, turns into a beautiful white steed, and stands there before Ushu. And Testadinde says, "You've walked quite a distance for our sake, friend. Allow us to provide you a transport."
ooh, there's a couple things that happen here. So, the celestial here. He looks at the Coatl as it comes out, and the Coatl, despite its abilities and everything, is frightened.
Testadinde immediately notices that his best buddy is frightened and steps up and says, "Just go back, man. Go back. You're good."
As Ushu, plain faced, keeps going.
Well, that was something of note. I mean, I suppose it makes sense. The medium of this place would have to be warded against all extraplanar beings.
I mean, it is kind of a neutral ground if you think about it. Maybe, I don't know, they're not allowed to be here or something? I don't know.
So, you guys will make your way to the newest temple in the Plaza of the Gods. As you pass a couple of smaller temples in the area, you come up to a low, grassy area next to the edge of a cliff face, the edge of the cave. There, little plot of sand. In the middle of it, a very simple stone table. There's a path from the road to the stone table. Ushu will step forward and walk on the path. As he does so, his back straightens even more. He holds his shoulders back and proud and walks to the other side of the stone table. He looks at you as a party and places his hands on the table expectantly.
Brendan's gonna do that.
Bren's gonna walk into the temple of Emery Rosie and put his hands on the table.
Oh yeah, Rose will just do so as well. Like this should be interesting.
He'll do it eagerly.
Yep.
So, well, this is interesting.
You're
What
not wrong.
did you do?
Define you.
He takes his finger and points at the entire party. All of you.
How far back do I have to go?
Like, how many side steps do you have to make?
Why is this here?
Oh, that's way easier. And well, I'm more than happy to answer that. Aimer points at Echo. That's all
Yeah,
he does.
Justin also just shamelessly points at Echo. Like, we just sell him out immediately.
Yeah, so
Echo.
Echo.
you know above all that my entire life has been in service to you.
Yeah,
And
but I wasn't a god.
so you have always been a judge for righteousness, and you've always been for justice, and you've always been a protector. Now you have more ability to judge and protect than you ever had before. And this endless cycle of destruction and rebirth can be done away with unless you choose otherwise. The world does not need you to abandon us for 1,000 or 2,000 years at a time. The world needs you in it.
I never abandoned you. I was taken away. Perhaps you're right. He looks down the street at the far center of town. I just don't want to end up like him.
Yes, I can see that. I think all the gods boast of immortality when in actuality even the gods are vulnerable sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
But as a dragon, I mean, you're the same as as glorious as you may be, you're still the same as the rest of the mortals on Torboa.
Not quite.
In essence, that you could be challenged. This puts you nearly above challenge.
Well, I appreciate the fact. But you understand, you're not the only one who's done something similar to this. There's a reason why Vagradan is raising cities and forming nests in cities. Vagradan's been collecting worshippers.
Yeah, figured as much.
He's not achieved godhood yet, but as a demigod, he's powerful. Hopefully this will swing it in our favor, but at the moment, it may just put a price on our target on our back. We need to be careful who we tell about this.
We haven't really been telling anyone they're even alive.
To be fair, you haven't spoken to many people since I have been alive.
I've spoken to a lot of people, but I only told Judith.
She is delightful, and she'll think this is great. I'm reluctant about it, but I'll accept it.
I wasn't planning on telling her either.
Well, she does have that chop of hers.
Yeah, see, silence isn't lying.
No, it's lies of omission. Yeah, but regardless, try not to lie. Because truth is important.
In certain situations, I fully agree with you, but, you know...
He narrows his eyes at you.
Well... Listen, I'm not perfect.
Well, that much is true. Thank you for speaking the truth.
Hey, listen, I don't lie just to lie. Sometimes it's just, you know, the truth is, what's the word I'm thinking for? Emer puts his hands together for a moment, bad for my health.
Indeed. I think you'll find that there's more to what I stand for than just justice. Justice and truth go hand in hand.
I hope there's what you stand for, because, you know, that's part of the reason we brought you back to life.
Truth, justice, and the Toivoan way.
So, what is it going to take to defeat Vagradan? What are we going to have to do?
Well, you're going to have to take that, and he points at the sword that Ricard has. And you're going to have to find some way to get above him. Get him to stand still for a moment. Or fly still, or fly under, and leap down upon him. Last time it worked. I've heard the stories, at least. That's the only way to pierce his armor and scales. As far as other ways, well, you're very creative. But defeating such a thing, you're likely going to need help. Even to achieve the stroke of the blade, it's likely that whoever makes the attack will die. Because he will erupt.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that.
Lord Amorosi, from what we've been told, Vagradan is controlled by several powerful beings, and you know, some would call them evil beings. Does Vagradan have a mind of its own, or is it just a construct, a puppet of that council?
Well, here's what I've discovered. Both. The council was led by Duldrin's Shadowscar. The others still are out there and have escaped. I'm not sure where. I've been looking for them before I was unceremoniously distracted by this meeting, which is fine. I'm currently flying from one point to the next. Hopefully I don't run into anything. But the rest of the masters have left, and have left the material plane, thus leaving Vagradan without his material master, and he now acts of his own accord, a force of creation and chaos. He narrows his eyes at Aimer. Vagradan is loosened upon Toivoa. What it will do, I do not know. And I cannot take him on alone. We will need mass amounts of people, forces to hold him in place, perhaps, and then allow someone to strike the fatal blow. This will not be a simple task. The more people you have, the easier the task will be. However, the challenge will rise. Vagradan is not to be underestimated, and many will die in the attempt to rid the world of such terror.
Though he does have a mind of its own. Okay. I mean, in that case, he seems to be acting kind of like a lot of dragons. Except the only difference is he isn't hoarding worship and treasure, he's devouring it.
Indeed, growing his strength. Even with the divine upgrade, thank you, I still won't be able to face him one-on-one.
Well, you'll have the 6 of us at the very least.
At least.
That's
And that'll be
Very
nice to
interesting.
have friends.
Well,
There is a concern about that upgrade, though. So the problem is that, Amarazi, you were a mortal entity, and as a mortal entity, you had absolute freedom in how you opposed Vagradan. So even if Vagradan had ascended to demigod status, it is the domain of mortals to oppose gods who directly interfere in the material realm. As a newly ascended being, if Vagradan succeeds in becoming a demigod, then you'd have to fight them instead of mortal to demigod, is to be fighting them god to god, and an unknown god against a god who rules vast territories. I can believe you can predict the outcome of such a conflict.
Oh.
So we now have a time crunch on our mission to strike him down without meaningfully adding to our assets.
Perhaps you have friends. I have some.
yeah, we do have friends. We have some powerful allies. Yeah. Yeah, we have some really powerful allies. I think yeah, I have to think about it a little bit.
I mean,
It doesn't sound undoable. It's just going to be difficult. We've done difficult before.
Indeed, you brought me back.
How
And
would-
for that, I'm thankful.
maybe. No, that's silly.
Go for it.
Well, no, it was going to be a dumb joke. It's fine.
In this group?
did it in any
No.
Gotta give my character some competition.
Oh, my screen went dark. Shoot, I'm distracted. Oh, right. Well, speaking of allies, Lord Amorosi, from my understanding, you have Echo Rex's memories.
Some.
So, you know why I was helping Echo in the
Yes.
first place.
Out of friendship and the goodness of your heart. He has great faith in how much you believe in bringing good back to the world.
She actually looks confused at that. Like, is he joking?
He's
Or, like,
recalling Echo's memories, not yours.
No, I mean, I suppose that is one way of looking at it.
That's Echo's perception of Sweet August Rose.
I mean, I think Echo, he didn't say like she, well, I was very upfront to Echo that a large reason why I was helping him was because I wasn't sure about his claims that he had the soul of Amorosi and he was going to bring Amorosi back when I first met him. But I could tell that he was a powerful sorcerer, and I was looking to make friends. So I aided him on his quest because, one, either I became friends with a very talented and powerful sorcerer, or two, he was actually correct, and he could bring back this incredibly powerful dragon of goodness. And both of those things helped my plans. Fortuitously, I ended up not having to choose between one or the other, and we were able to stumble along a path where both events occurred.
From what I remember from his memories, he had faith enough for the two of you.
Well, a large reason. You say you appreciate truth, and I'm going to speak the truth. It wasn't solely out of the goodness of my heart.
He looks at you. I know.
I wanted powerful allies, and I do ask for your help, whatever help you may offer, when I assault Bourbon.
I will be able to help you against the city. However, my influence within the Citadel of Bourbon will be limited. The entire city is warded against creatures, especially celestials.
So that applies to him now, but it didn't apply to him before when he was just a dragon. that's
Sucks,
funny.
don't it?
That's pretty funny. No, but she nods. It's just as long. I mean, the city is teeming with demons, and out of curiosity, Vagradan's fire. I noticed when he breathes fire, it clings to things and spreads and isn't extinguished.
Indeed.
Does your breath? Could you breathe on a crowd of people intermixed with demons and only strike the demons? Does it only strike those you deem evil?
He smiles at you. I've not tried since my deification. I think such a act would be dangerous at best.
I mean, I'm just saying, a giant gold god dragon strafing the city, breathing down and smiting all the demons and sparing all the people who don't deserve it would be pretty cool. Just saying.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it? We'll have to see when that's time.
Yeah.
Eric's not tipping his hand.
But Rose just nods. I mean, you don't have to help us in striking the Citadel, but there are going to be others fighting in the city, and they're going to need all the help they can get. I believe that's where a large portion of Cervantes' forces will be.
Of course.
And that is all I ask. I thank you for your aid, Lord Amorosi. And she'll give him a bow, too.
He gives you a nod.
In the
Brian
future,
wants to. Okay.
in the future, I appreciate your friendship and aid, and if you ever need anything from me, Echo already has my friendship, but I would like to extend that to you too.
We shall see.
Even if you're a god. But actually, that's all she wanted to say. I gotta be right back because I really gotta go to the restroom. Be right back.
Brennan.
That was me a minute ago.
Brennan wants to clarify. He's going to ask Amorosi. So, is it certain that the person who delivers the fatal blow to Vagradan will perish in doing so?
It happened in the past. I do not see a way around it.
And what kind of perishing are we talking? Are we just talking about mortal disintegration, or are we talking about something of the soul? Because with what we deal with, death has become a minor inconvenience.
The eradication of being.
Just at the end of the day, throws up his hands and says, "Not it."
Brennan's going to say, I might know someone, though. We can talk about that later. And then, talking about becoming a deity, Brennan's going to ask.
For the record, Eric. For the record, Eric is sitting over here going, "Damn, Brennan's being super smart." Because I think I know where you're at too.
No, that was quite the play. I caught on real quick.
Yeah.
I love
Brennan's
that.
going to ask him, how would you like to be worshipped?
He looks at you. I don't want to be worshipped, but guess I'm kind of stuck here now. So, I guess do good things, fight for justice and all is right. Be true. Don't lie. Be loyal to your friends. And help those who need it.
I'll do at least half of that.
He looks at you and smiles. If you do half of that, Amer Shestina, it'll be a vast improvement.
Hey. I do good things sometimes.
That is true.
I mean, I came here solely to bring light back to Toivoa.
Indeed.
Yeah, broken clock is right twice a day.
Now, speaking of, I have learned of Avrig Longtail.
Hey, nice guy.
From
That's
what I
actually
have
our next
heard,
stop.
yes. What was you saying, Echo?
Yes, that is our next stop. We hope to return Brennan's town of Sinluma. At least get rid of the shade that is there, so that the village can regrow.
You have my blessing. However, I will not be able to approach the town. I have found it in the distance, a black spot on the skyline. It is warded against dragons.
Yeah.
Wow. That's interesting. It makes sense, actually, because Sageos was attacking previously.
Yeah, that was the whole reason Summoner did the spell, was to ward off Sageos.
Right.
But,
Does that mean that Longtail is a construct or a
yeah,
monstrosity or a celestial?
he's a construct in his own ways.
I
He
believe
might also be trapped inside of there.
I
because of the
believe
ward.
it is warded from entry, not from
Yeah.
exit.
Let's see.
But yeah, Ardvig believed you could actually fix that as well, but we decided to take that upon ourselves because you're absolutely going to need your own power for, well, the giant 3-mile long monstrosity in the sky.
I feel the faith of Arvig Longtail. I do. Arvig is good, if not just. He wishes what is right for people, and he wishes to hinder any harm that would come to people who do not deserve it.
Even some people who do deserve it.
People who do deserve it, he would devastate should he be given the opportunity, as would I.
That's part of our solution to this, unfortunately, after talking to Usul, is that the person who created him and made the area what it was, I don't know if Ardvig will only seem willing to kill him if he gets too close to Ardvig's ward, even to the point where Ardvig blocked us out, thinking that we did kill this person.
Indeed.
So it's interesting the lines here.
Certainly a complicated situation.
Indeed. So, I grant you my blessing. While you arrive in Sinluma, you will have inspiration of Amaria Rosie.
Not as good as a boon, though.
Yeah, it is. It's just as good as a boon because you guys will get 1d12 during your first roll in Sinluma.
Yeah, I'm just
Oh, I know. I know
being-
you're sitting there on the Chio Chio Weaver boon still.
Aimer still has his.
I
as a matter
know.
of fact.
I know.
I've been saving it. I don't think I'll use it for what I plan to in this campaign, but
Oh, there's still a chance.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, there's that Chia Weaver one.
yeah, there's still a chance, Eric, but it depends how the story goes,
Oh, I know. I know what you intended for it, and there's still a chance.
Yeah, and I have a backup plan for it. Don't worry.
Understood.
But
Is there anything you wish us to do when we get back to Tovor? When we get back to the Endless Pinnacle?
Clean up your room.
Yes, I'm working on that.
And you mentioned something about your young friends.
Yes.
Make sure that they understand the situation before they commit.
Oh, I intend to help them with that decision for sure.
He narrows his eyes at you. Do not force them.
Kobolds are a challenging race for sure. I am an exception, I'm sure.
They respond best to being bullied.
Someone watched a certain one shot that I know exactly what you're talking about. And no, Echo does not equal Asterion.
But yes, I think that the tribe would gladly serve any dragon that would pay them attention, making them understand your values and tenets is going to be a challenge for such a race that is, in a lot of people's opinion, just slightly above goblins, I imagine. But I will definitely,
goblins.
yeah, I will definitely do my best. They will make their choice freely.
Excellent. Well, I am going to be a little busy for a few moments. You'll have to excuse me. If there's nothing else,
I have no further questions. I will contact you on the day of the assault.
contact me before. I might be able to bring more forces to bear. I have a few friends that you may not be aware of.
I will take any help I can get.
I apologize if I disappoint you between now and then, because I'm going to.
He smiles. I know. And with a blink, Ushu returns to himself. And that's where we're going to end for today. As we will let you guys figure out what you want to do for next week, during this week. We'll come back next Monday for the next episode of The Spirits and Fellowship.
Well, Testu, there's one thing I want to ask Testu right before
Sure.
we leave.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have divination prepared?
Yes, I always have that prepared.
Could you ask if the Jozosai are waiting for us at the exit? Just real fast. It doesn't matter who. Just a yes or no will do for that question.
I kind of
Okay,
hope they are, because I'm gonna chop Lady Frost in half.
Just just so we know what we're probably going to walk into next session.
I mean, that may be the fun way to go. I mean, we could plane shift.
Does imminent danger await us as we exit the palace, the plaza of the gods?
Ooh, that's an interesting phrasing.
You always you never try and be specific, super specific with divination. You always got to leave some wiggle room, otherwise you don't get a fun answer.
How to answer this correctly? The best way to answer this: some roads are deadlier than others.
It has to be a yes or no, right?
No, they can also give a short phrase
Oh,
answer.
yeah, short phrase. Okay. Which is the
Right,
one that's
which-
yes or no?
Which is also why you don't try and be too ultra specific, because then you get the short phrase. It's a balancing act.
I think we knew he was going to have to fight our way out of here.
I mean,
It's
it's
just
where
nice
we
to
go.
know. Yeah, it's just nice to know. Like hey, like.
It
So
depends
we
on
were-
which way you go, honestly.
Yeah. So we were told before when we left, when the bird god gave us the pillow, that was the safest way out at the time. We were told there were other ways to leave that were far more dangerous, and we chose the pillow route.
Yeah, because the flying pillow just takes us right back up to the hole.
Yeah.
Well, I always have word of recall prepared.
Oh, but that's boring.
Yeah,
Look,
but I don't
the
think
Jo-
this
the
is actually
Jozo
deal with
side-
wall without
you know
having a nope in his back pocket.
What is that? What is that? Chicago's? Well, it's not Chicago. It's He had it coming. How's it go?
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. So
yeah.
you guys know that some paths are deadlier than others. You may have something up there. You may have other ways out that are being described as dangerous. We'll see next week on the Spirits and Fellowship.